Hey y'all. So today we are going to explore Independence Mall and the surrounding areas of historic buildings. Let's go. So we are currently on 6th and Chestnut. This building right here is the Public Ledger building. Currently there is a Wawa on the first floor. Across 6th Street is Independence Mall. A little tidbit piece of history. The bell that is up in the bell tower, which used to be the Liberty Bell, is actually the Centennial Bell. The Liberty Bell is in a pavilion behind us. So walking down Chestnut Street, and Independence Hall is on our right. The Liberty Bell Pavilion is on our left. This open grass area is considered Independence Mall. You have the Bourse, which is that ornate brick building in the center there. The National Constitution Center and the Visitor Center. And then right here is the Liberty Bell Pavilion. Let's see if we can get a sneak peek of it. So if you don't want to stand in line and wait to actually go into the Liberty Bell Pavilion, there's a little viewing window from outside. You used to be able to actually catch the Liberty Bell, but a couple years ago someone actually went and took a hammer to it. So now it's ripped off. I'm kind of surprised there's actually no line to get into the Liberty Bell Pavilion. Usually all along here there are people waiting. But if you do want to go into the pavilion, it's free. As you can see, no tickets are required. You do have to go through security, like you're going through security at the airport. So this glass cube right here actually encases the foundation of the house where Washington lived when he was president. So now we are standing on the corner of 6th and Market. Right here is Independence Visitor Center and the continuation of Independence Mall. And then at the other end of the mall, at 5th and Market, is the National Museum of Jewish History. The Visitor Center has these neat panels on the exterior that as you walk past, the text becomes clear. It also creates a shadow on the back of the building. Okay, so here you have the Independence Visitor Center. There's obviously a gift shop and visitors information. You can also get tickets for any of the tours, tour buses, etc. in the city here. There's a kiosk for the National Park Service and a little theater that shows a welcome movie right there. It's also a great place to come on a warm day, get out of the heat. This is a great deal, actually, if you're traveling through Philadelphia on a short, or if you're here for a long stay. And this Liberty Bell, you can actually get up and touch. They have a bunch of these throughout the city, done by local artists. This one's right here at the visitor center. Little games for the kids, as well as information. However, I think the best aspect of this building is the restrooms right there. They're clean, they're inside. Fantastic. So the World Cup is here in Philadelphia in June. As you can see, there's a FIFA fan fest going on. Actually, what I thought was the FIFA fan fest is actually some kind of a movie that they're filming, or a commercial. You can see them filming right there and directing the crowd of people behind that bus. Always something going on in Philly. Alright, so we are walking along Independence Mall towards 5th Street. There you go. On 5th Street, between Market and Chestnut, you have Bourse building. There's a food market inside here, as well as a theater with offices and residences above. Well, I just found out that the actual restaurants on the first floor right here are no longer there. It's closed to the public. Bummer. It was nice. It was a nice little food hall. And here's Old City Hall. Across 5th Street is the Signer's Garden. This is a statue of George Clymer, who is the only person to sign both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. This is Library Hall, which is a 1950s reconstruction of the first public library of the United States, which was founded by Benjamin Franklin in 1789. The Second Bank of the United States was authorized from 1816 to 1836 to have branches in multiple states. It currently is used as an early American portrait gallery. Behind the Second Bank is the statue of Robert Morris. He was the financier of the Revolution. However, he overspent on land and ended up in prison, and living the remaining of his life very modestly. The Rose Garden was donated by the Daughters of the American Revolution. It is dedicated to the signers of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. It houses 96 varieties of antique roses that only bloom once a year. Unfortunately, I was not so lucky to see them in bloom this time around. Still a lovely park to walk around and enjoy. It's a little early in the season for the roses to be in bloom, and I can only imagine that this is a gorgeous garden when they are. And unfortunately, it looks like the Magnolia Garden might be closed for restoration. But you can tell that it is beautiful when everything is in bloom. Walking up 5th Street towards Arch Street, you have Christ Church Burial Ground on the right, Independence Mall on the left. Christ Church Burial Ground is home to Benjamin Franklin's final resting place. And you can see the United States Mint in the background across Arch Street. So on the right here is Benjamin Franklin and his wife Deborah. On the left is his son. Let's see if we can get a little closer. People toss pennies on his grave to show their gratitude for Franklin's accomplishments. He is known for coining the phrase, "A penny saved is a penny earned." It's $5 to get into the burial grounds, so we'll just admire it from the sidewalk. Others, though, who lie here are five signers of the Declaration of Independence, the founders of the U.S. Navy, and many early medical practitioners. The United States Mint is the nation's first and oldest mint, originally built in 1792. This stately building here is the fourth building in the series and was built in 1969. It was the world's largest mint when it was built and could produce up to 1 million coins in 30 minutes. It also produces medals and awards for military, governmental, and civil services. Public tours are available showing all minting processes. This is the Free Quaker Meeting House. It's at the corner of 5th and Arch Streets, and across the street from Christ Church Burial Grounds. Oh shoot, a tour. Have fun, guys. It says it's open. Let's go in. During the American Revolution, a group among the Pennsylvania Quakers became known as the Free Quakers because they did not find a justifiable reason to go to war. This was considered their place of worship after being disowned or quote-unquote read out of meeting by the mainstream friends. All right, crossing Arch Street, we are walking west towards 6th Street. There's the Free Quaker Meeting House. And coming up on the right is the National Constitution Center. It is an interactive museum which also serves as a national town hall, hosting government leaders, journalists, scholars, and celebrities, engaging in Constitution-related discussions and presidential debates. But today we are just going to do a walk-by on our way to Franklin Square. Franklin Square between 6th and 7th Streets and Race and Vine Streets is one of the 5 original squares planned by William Penn. Oh look, the Chinese Lantern Festival starts June 5th. I've never been to the festival here in Philadelphia, but maybe this year. And it looks like we're going to get a little sneak peek as they set up the lanterns. Tickets are required for the actual festival, which is nightly starting June 5th. Oh, this entranceway is beautiful, but I guarantee it's going to be amazing at night when all the lanterns are glowing. During the day, the square is open to the public and has a number of things to do, including mini golf, a carousel, food, playground, and a fountain show. The Franklin Square Fountain is the centerpiece of the park and was dedicated to Mayor Ed Rendell in 2023. The light and music show is every 30 minutes. All the amenities and activities surround the fountain. They even have tables and chairs and some benches for people to sit. Personally, I think they should leave the walkway lanterns up all year long. So here is the mini putt-putt course. The 18-hole course is Philadelphia themed. I've heard it's pretty cool. Hey squirrel, I see you. Stop eating my plants. You can't hide from me. Oh, the carousel is gorgeous, but it's not running. Bummer. I do love that there are various animals instead of just horses. Look at that dragon. And the cat with the fish in its mouth. Next, we're off to the Arch Street Meeting House. Meeting houses carry the Quaker ideals of simplicity, plainness, and equality, used for silent contemplation. It was designed in 1803 by Quaker master builder Owen Biddle Jr. Today, the Meeting House is a museum with a suggested donation admission. There is still a monthly meeting of Friends of Philadelphia held on Sundays, which started in 1682. All are welcome. You'll find a link in the description if interested. We are now heading east on Arch Street towards 3rd Street. The Arch Street Meeting House is on the right, and the building on the corner of 3rd and Arch is the old Corn Exchange National Building and Trust Company, built in 1902. This building actually holds a bit of a secret life, unless you are from Philadelphia or are a super fan of the TV show The Real World, as it was the quote-unquote house for the cast of The Real World of Philadelphia. Oh, look at the old-timey car that they are using for tours. That's so cool. So right next door to the Real World Bank is, wait for it, da 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 da, the infamous Betsy Ross House. Actually, they don't know the exact location of her house and where she sewed the first American flag. It is believed that she lived in a house next door that was torn down to keep the current museum safe from fire. So now we are on Market Street, between 3rd and 4th Streets. This is the B. Free Franklin Post Office. Franklin was appointed Postmaster of Philadelphia in 1737 and later co-Postmaster General for the British. During Franklin's day, though, this was not a post office. He did, however, walk through this walkway from his house, which has been torn down. In 1974, the quote-unquote ghost structures were created, suggesting the outlines of the demolished buildings within the courtyard. Although they are based on inadequate historical information and therefore considered non-historic. Here is a view of the rear of the post office. As you can see, the Flemish bond brick pattern also continues to the back. And just like the front, there are no black clinker bricks. Clinker bricks are produced when wet clay bricks are exposed to excessive heat during the firing process, creating a shiny dark coating. There is also a museum dedicated to Benjamin Franklin, which is below ground underneath the courtyard, built around the archaeological remains of the house. You can see some of the archaeological remains beneath by peering into the concrete hoods. Historical or not, I still think it's a cool sculpture and space. So I decided to pay the $5 to go to the Benjamin Franklin Museum underground. Felt like we were just spending a lot of time focusing on him today. So here we go. And this is the museum here. It's very dark, so be aware of that. It's nice though because it's an interactive museum, so it actually says please touch. I truly believe that.
Wearing of secrecy, out of measure of guilt. Compare with a thick of Dr. Franklin's head, whose whole conduct in this affair is both secret and mysterious. I consider Dr. Franklin not so much as a likely agent of the assembly of London, or that he read about what's true and tried to conduct of it.
At my first admission into this printing house,
Have you heard of Franklin with the kite and the key? Well, here's a painting by Benjamin West showing that moment when he used the kite with the key attached to it to harness electricity from the sky. Okay, so that was the Museum of Benjamin Franklin. It's a nice, informative museum about his life, his inventions, his treaties. And of course, there's a little gift shop at the very end. So, it only costs $5 to get in. So it's a nice little retreat from the city if you are in need of some relief from the heat. So when you come out of Franklin Court on Chestnut Street, you have Carpenter's Hall, which is right here in front of us. we're going to cross over Chestnut, don't do this, but, and go to Carpenter's Hall. So you can see that there's a depressed section here that was allowing for drainage. Have the new Hall Military Museum right here. Carpenter's Hall in front of us. I'm not sure what building this is here. Honestly, I should. Alright. Let's continue onward, upward. I do suggest going into anything that's open and free to the public. It's nice to walk through. We're not going to walk through today, but go ahead and go in, take a look around. Everything is set, period, and it's really nice to just get a sense of what things were like. So we're going to end here at the Merchant Building. It's probably my favorite building in the city, or one of my favorites. It's actually called the Merchant Exchange Building, but there's it's always weddings happening, or wedding pictures happening here. Also looks like there's some construction, so we're going to have to cross the street and unfortunately not get too close to it. And here is why I love this building, this back view. Unfortunately, it's a little stifled. Oh, hello, USPS. Stifled a little by the construction fence, but as you can see, there's also a very large plaza in front of it, so typically you can walk all in here along this old stone. Looks like they're doing some kind of Dock Street pavement restoration. Well, that concludes our historic tour of Philadelphia. There's a ton more, but I only touched on a few items. You can definitely check out more. Oh, before we get hit by cars, better cross the road fast. Yeah, definitely check out more of Philadelphia and just walk around and explore. You might, everywhere you turn, as you can see, we're just walking down the street and there's just beautiful old historic buildings. Right here is a bell. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. As you can see, there's a ton of other videos of all sorts of things on there. And leave me a note. Say hello. Tell me what you'd like to see. All right, I hope to hear from you soon. See y'all later.